Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, is English with Alice. Today we are discussing my favorite idioms which are possible to embed into our daily life, into daily situations. So they are not hard to use. For that reason I decided it would be a very good idea to know those idioms for you. But before that, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, follow me in all the social media, including Facebook and Instagram. And of course, like my video. So guys, we start with the common in every personality view of someone else's life idiom. I suppose you have an idea of what I'm talking about. Of course, it is the idiom grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, or just the grass is greener on the other side. I really love this proverb because it is applying to real life essentially. Because there are no doubts any person believes someone has better life than the one has. Which this proverb actually means. We have an Ukrainian analogy «Добрий там, де нас нема», which more or less has the same meaning. Next piece, it is not my cup of tea, which we used to talk about the things people don't really adore and prefer something else. For instance, I prefer reading books and watching movies is not my cup of tea. Or, for example, I prefer not studying in university because learning is not my cup of tea. So I think the meaning is clear. Yeah, it's something that you don't really like and you want to try something else. We keep on with the Australian idiom, which is used in America usually and in Australia, of course. It sounds like don't count the raw prawn with me. As Cambridge Dictionary defines this term, it means to try to deceive someone, especially by pretending that you have no knowledge of something. So, don't count the raw prawn with me. You know very well what I'm talking about. It is our example to the idiom. As I said before, it is Australian idiom, which is frequently used by Americans. Next phrase or idiom, let's say, it is beat around the bush, which means to avoid saying what you mean, usually because it is inconvenient for some reason. As a lot of my viewers are Russian and Ukrainian, I think it is a good idea to give an analogy in Russian. Ходить вокруг да около. It's what this idiom actually means. In nutshell, it's very short idiom, as you can see, and it should be used as a part of the sentence. In nutshell means to be in short, or to express your minds in very brief and concise way. For example, just tell me a story in a nutshell, don't make the short story long. Actually, don't make the short story long is one more idiom. Very beautiful phrase, which is used almost everywhere and by everyone. You can hear it in serials, in movies, in spoken language, but you need to remember that it's not used in academic English, or informal way, because it's very informal phrase. It's very spoken phrase. It's to have a crush on someone. So when you have a crush on someone, it means you have developed a strong desire for the person. Eventually it may grow into a true love, or your feelings might wear away. For example, Mike has an amazing sense of humor and he's really fun to work with. I mean, who doesn't have a crush on him? So don't forget that this phrase is used only in spoken English. So never use it in formal way of speaking or in some essays or generally in academic English. Be careful with it. Fall for someone has kinda same definition with the previous idiom, to have a crush on someone. Generally, it means to be attracted to someone and start to love the person. So he was fantastically handsome. I just fell for him right away. It's our example. It's our first example. Next example, you to understand the idiom better, is that was summer. I worked at the fairground and met and fell for Lucy. So, fall for someone means to love someone. Sometimes it's about love from first sight. I love idioms, and one of my favorites has always been best of both worlds, which I'm not sure has an analogy in Russian or in Ukrainian. The phrase refers to a situation when it turns out that it is possible to get the best out of two situations or out of two events. For example, my new job pays well, and I also love waking up to go to work every day. So it is the best of both worlds for me. This dessert is best of both worlds because it's actually really healthy and it tastes great too. It blows me away how she's beautiful. What does she so for having such a perfect skin? I think you have noticed the idiom "it blows me away," which means to be amazed or impressed by something. For example, her dedication to learning French blows me away because she spends 43 hours every day on it. Or it blows me away how perfect she is because she has time for everything, for being a perfect mom, for being beautiful, for doing her hobbies, so generally everything. Pull yourself together. Pull yourself together is kind of a nice phrase for expressing your disagreement of someone being desperate or just unfocused, or call this person for encouraging. To compose yourself or to calm down, yeah, if to make it clearer. For example, she was really upset about her test score, but she pulled herself together and studied harder for the next test. So it's when you did something quite badly, yeah, but you want to change the result and you pull yourself together and generally do it, yeah, further. Next saying is "it takes two to tango." According to Cambridge Dictionary, that's said when you want to emphasize that both people involved in a difficult situation must accept the blame or that an activity needs two people who are willing to take part for it to happen. So an example here is she may want to argue, but it takes two to tango, and I won't stop to her level. David is not the only one who is guilty, because it literally does take two to tango. So you can't dance the tango unless you have a partner. But this idiom means that if there is a suspicious situation, then there is more than one culprit. They couldn't have done it by themselves. Next idiom I want to consider with you is "it's a piece of cake." So the idiom is similar to "easy peasy lemon squeezy." So the idiom means that something is very easy to do, is very easy to handle with. So, for example, I took my test with a score of 120. It was a piece of cake. Yeah, so let's say that 120 is the highest result on this test, and I took it. Yeah, it was easy to take. To blow off steam. To blow off some steam isn't to stand above a tea kettle and huff and puff. No, it's not that thing. It's when you are feeling angry or despair and have a strong desire to do something to relieve those emotions. Yeah, so then you're blowing off steam, doing something or taking a break to help yourself to tolerate with the stress. Yeah. For example, hey, I'm feeling pretty angry right now. I'm going to go blow off some costs and arm and leg. When something costs an arm and leg, you won't literally have to cut off your arm and leg to buy it, of course, no. It just means that it costs a lot of money. So it would be as painful for your wallet as cutting off an arm and a leg to pay for it. So, for example, you are in Versace shop and you see a dress which is just impressively beautiful. You want to buy it, but you see the price and you say, "Oh God, it costs an arm and leg." Yeah. Or for example, I'm dreaming about buying this wonderful house, but it costs an arm and leg. So basically, it's used for immensely expensive things which are unaffordable at the moment for you. Up in the air. Can plants actually be floating high in the sky? Theoretically, they could if you roll them down and threw them up. But this idiom really means that the situation being planned is still undecided. And that everything is still uncertain or unsure. So you can use it when to say about unreal plans at the moment. But they can be real in some time, but not like currently. Stabbed in the back sounds same as in Russian language, nож в спину. Literally stabbing someone in the back could bring someone to jail. Yeah, that's definitely not what this idiom means. Yeah, being stabbed in the back means that you've been betrayed or deceived by someone who you thought you could trust and wasn't expecting so. So the biggest mistake of mine has been to trust him as he stabbed me in the back at the moment, in the inappropriate moment, for example. Next phrase I really want to talk about is freak out. Freak out looks like a phrasal verb, but it is an idiom which implies a wide range of emotions, like feeling extremely surprised, or upset, or angry, or confused caused by someone's behavior or an event. Performing on stage freak me out every time, so I'm sort of frightened, yeah, by performing on stage. It frightens me out. I guess I'm kind of freaked out by someone to smoke, yeah, or so on. So when you are really frightened by something, intimidated, it freaks you out. It off. It means to get rid of some negative emotions by doing something else that relieves your bad emotions generally. I know you had a bad day. How about going to have some drink to shake it off? Yeah, where, for example, reading shakes me off because I'm immerse myself into another world. So guys, that's it. That's all of the idioms I wanted to give you. I really recommend you to use idioms into your daily life because it enriches your language brightly. It makes your language better, more elaborated, and of course you're sounding more like native because natives, they generally use idioms, not like always of course, but they use it, and for that reason it's very good idea to can do the same. Yeah, so guys, thank you everyone for your attention. I really appreciate that. If you forgot to subscribe to my channel, please do it now. Like my video, of course, and leave comments if you want to ask me something or you have some propositions for my next videos.